Welcome to the 360 show. It's a happy show. As you all know, I announced that I will be playing some cricket again. Guys, it will be fairly casual. It won't be international, professional, big cricket, but it will still be important to me and it will still be serious enough so that I will go out there and try and win games of cricket. I've been enjoying cricket in the backyard with my boys. They've been begging me to play a bit of cricket again. They want to go with me on tour. They want to be in the nets with me and they want to learn from some of my experiences throughout my career. So we cover a little bit of that on this show this week. Also, all the cricket happening around the world. The ICC 2024 teams have been released, and there's also a new segment of From AB to 360. Stay tuned. As per usual, we'll start with a 360 view as I cover the main topics of the week in 360 seconds. Starting off with the SA20, guys, there's been a lot of great cricket. The wickets have been difficult, so not a lot of high-scoring games. It's been tricky, and it's been very challenging for the top-order batters when batting first to know what a good score is. So I think we've seen some very, very good entertaining cricket and also some tricky, not so entertaining cricket for the fans, but for the players. It's been very challenging and entertaining because it's challenges that you need to overcome. That's never easy. But let's quickly pull up the log here. As you see, Paul Royals already qualified for the knockouts. They have been hands down the best team in this tournament so far. We know the big and the great name from England, Joe Root, has had a big impact on the success of this team. And then also my Cape Town performing much better this year. Sunrisers Eastern Cape making a run at it, as they always do. It happened in season 1 and 2, where they fell behind in the first half of the tournament and then all of a sudden found some momentum towards the back half of the tournament, and 2 seasons in a row, they ended up winning the trophy. So will it happen again for them this coming season, or this season happening as we speak? Some disappointing performances from Joburg Super Kings, Durban Super Giants, and Pretoria Capitals. So 3 teams find themselves in the bottom half of the log, but the Joburg Super Kings have made a bit of a run at it, playing a bit better cricket. But there is a couple of very important fixtures ahead for them, as they look like the favourites to claim that number 4 spot on the log. And as you know, similar format to the IPL, as there are 4 teams that qualify. 1 and 2 play, we will automatically qualify for the final. 3 and 4 will play off to play the loser of 1 and 2. I hope you understand what I just said now. But I love that format. It gives the top of the loggers another bite of the cherry if you do lose that game, which seems to be the Paul Royals and my Cape Town team. They might just finish 1 and 2, but things might change. So keep an eye out for the SA20. There's been some great cricket. A quick thing that I covered last night or 2 nights ago on X. I had a bit of a rant at Heinrich Klaasen batting at 6, and I wrote there, I really can't, guys. It's impossible for me to absorb or to take in. It really is so frustrating, as he is one of the best players in the world right now. In fact, stats prove that he is the number 1 player in the world between over 7 and 14. But he doesn't even end up batting there because guys push him too late. I just find, I'm speechless actually. I wasn't speechless on X here because I had a bit of a rant when I had a quiet time in my home watching some of the SA20, but this has got nothing to do with the SA20. It's been happening for 2 or 3 or 4 years of his career. And why I went on about it is I can relate to this. I went through a similar phase in my career where stats proved me to be the best in the world between overs 10 and 20. And the coaches got so fixated with it that that's what they wanted me to do every single game. But the problem is with some of the best players in the world, guys, why can't they come in the 4th over? Why don't you give them the opportunity to bat with the fielding restrictions and just play normal shots? And imagine the best player in the world on 30 not out after 10 overs in the game. And with a base set, all the information in his head, the awareness is there. He knows how the bowlers are trying to get him out. He understands the pitch conditions. I wrote all of that on X, and then he's got this base to go and be the best in the world between overs 10 and 20. Give him that opportunity just to play normal cricket. But problem with Heinrich Klaasen is what's happening right now is someone else is batting between overs 5 and 10, getting 30 off 20 balls. And that's exactly what Klaasen could have done. And then he's got that base. But now that guy gets out. Klaasen comes in. He doesn't have that information, and he's expected to perform miracles. Frustrating. Let's move on. That's the SA20. That's Heinrich Klaasen. Go and read my tweets if you want. I can go on for ages about this. India, England, guys. India with all the momentum there, winning a lot of games there in the front part of the series, really dominating England. Some standout performers. I mean, Chakravarti has reinvented his bowling action. Talking about topspin, that he's using more spin, topspin than side spin these days. He feels that if he gets a bit more bounce, you will get more wickets. The problem with that is when I can tell him that the more bounce you get, sometimes it opens up more aerial shots. Yes, you can get wickets, but it also can fly to the boundary. So I feel that side spin of his, he can use when he's under pressure because it's difficult to get under it. So I feel there's still room for him to use both the side spinner and the top spinner. When he's in a very attacking mood, go more top spin, get that edges, get the batter to hit it straight up. The minute the batter gets hold of you, still remember that little defensive delivery that you've got. Tilak Varun has been on absolute fire. Look at that. His stats speaks for itself. And I just love, the thing that I love most about this guy, guys, and I speak about it so often, is changing of gears. He goes from second gear to fifth gear to third gear to fourth gear, back to fifth, back to second, back to fifth. I love that about a batter that's adaptable, that can read the situation and can play different conditions. Pakistan, West Indies, 1-1 tie, draw at the moment. Well, 1-1, Pakistan 1-1, West Indies 1-1. It's been interesting because Pakistan's bottom of the loggers there in the WTC rankings. But the West Indies seem to have had a very bad season or two. But, guys, if you compare it to the likes of Chris Gale, Lara, Adams, Hooper, Jacobs, Chanderpaul, Sarwan, Ganga, sounds like a great team, doesn't it? They didn't win a lot of games away from home, only winning 9 out of 85 tests away. The current team have won 10 out of 42. So are they really that bad? I think they're a decent test team, and they can definitely look forward and be positive at what's to come. They've won some away games of late, and they can keep building. Last but not least, the ICC teams of the year have been announced. As I hit 360 seconds, I'll quickly run through this. I'm not in agreement with the ODI team, guys. I don't think enough cricket has been played, and it's very difficult to come up with a team when there's not a lot of performances under the belt for all the players. That ODI team, I'm afraid to say, very good players, but I wouldn't mind playing against them, with all due respect. The T20 side, good team there, lots of talent. I feel it's a really good balance as well. Captain by Rohit Sharma. I like this side. I think they will win most games playing against other international teams, and the ICC men's test team, the most accurate team in my opinion. And there you have it, captained by Pat Cummins. A really good side, good balance, good all-round team. That's it, guys, for 360 View. I hope you enjoyed it. I know I went a little bit over 360 seconds, but it is what it is. I had to just sort of offload a little bit of the fury with Heinrich Klaasen. He took up most of my time. So I'm going to give him a call now and say he is wasting my fans' times on the 360 show. So that's it for the 360 View, guys. We will now be moving to From AB to 360, the second chapter of this new segment of the 360 show. I absolutely love doing it, and I took a lot of input from you guys. So please keep commenting about what you want to hear from me, my different experiences throughout my career. Techniques, mindset, all kinds of stuff will be covered on this segment of the show. I love doing it, and I hope you love watching it. So I'll be going into the garden today. You guys have spoken. Today is about taking guard and the stance. Let's move. Off to the nets we go. As you know, I've been spending a bit more time in the nets of late, more so as a professional throwdown specialist to my boys than anything else. But occasionally I get the opportunity to pick up the willow and show them one or two tricks with a bat in hand. This will be chapter 2 of From AB to 360. And you have spoken. It's about the stance and taking guard. Remember, we're still busy with the ABCs. Nice fundamental basics to focus on. It will get more exciting, but also more complicated as we move into the 360 part of the show later on. Let's go. Taking guard, leg stump, middle stump, off stump, outside leg, outside off. Where should you stand? There are so many greats of the game that all had different theories and all different methods. I think of a Shivnarine Chanderpaul who stood almost this far outside leg stump. Then you have guys like a Lance Klaasen, a Faf du Plessis. They all have different ways of doing things and tackling the challenges. I prefer to stand on two leg, which will be in the middle of middle stump and leg stump with my right toe, and my left toe was on leg stump. So I had a little bit of an open stance because I had a back and across movement. I would generally go to middle and off with my back foot, keeping this right foot flat, and my left foot was almost hovering around two leg to middle stump, middle leg stump to middle stump. And the most important thing is my weight would go a little bit back in order to, at the point of delivery, to push forward with my momentum. So after my back and across movement, I always focus on keeping this right foot flat for as long as I could. This is my anchor, this is my powerhouse. I didn't want to get on my toe too early. That'll make me square up to the bowlers and nick off, and also play the wrong line. So back and across, right foot flat, 30 to 40% of weight on the front foot, 60-70 on the back, and from there I would look to go forward. And while I'm playing the shot, keep that right foot flat still for as long as you can. Only after contact do you maybe slide like that. That is the perfect way of doing it, and not like that. So on wickets swinging around a lot, I would prefer to get a bit more on off stump and with my right foot and my left foot on between middle and leg stump, and from there I would go across to middle and off with my right foot, drag back this to middle, and that would be my base on swinging and seaming wickets. This way I could cover the swing a bit, and also for LBW shouts, if I did get a stride in, it would generally be outside the line of off stump. Vice versa is true on slow, low wickets, where LBWs is your biggest threat and getting bowled. I would stand on leg stump with my right foot and just outside leg with my left. I will move across with my back and across trigger to middle and leg stump, left foot on leg, and this will give me a great base, and making sure that I don't fall over, but I stay in line with the release point of the bowler. If you can draw a line to your stumps, and you almost just operate in that pitch map. All those greats that I just mentioned have something in common, and that is the position they find themselves in as soon as the ball's released. Head, knees and toes are all in a vertical line, and that's a very solid foundation to be in as soon as the bowler releases the ball. Knees a little bit bent, it will line up with my toes, and my head, you can draw a vertical line between my head, my knees and my toes, and that is a good position to be in as soon as the ball's released. So it doesn't matter if you have a back and across movement, this will be your typical back and across movement. Right foot there flat, left foot comes across, weight a little bit back, 60% on the back foot I would say, 40 on the front, and looking to move forward with that line that you've just created between your toes, your knees and your head. The main focus for me with this stance would be to keep my eyes parallel to the ground, making sure that I do not do that. That is a general mistake most batters make, especially amateurs. The minute the ball's released, their head tends to fall over, and this way you miss the line of the ball and you end up missing stray deliveries. And that's why you can also keep your head and your shoulder attached, or is it your head and your shoulder and your chin attached. So nice and balanced, shoulder width apart. It's a powerful position to do whatever you want. You can move forward, I can tap and move back, and from here on I can almost do the boxing move. Think of a boxer. And this is a very nice, basic, solid platform to be in as soon as the ball's released. So personally for me, the back and across movement, I would find my right foot more or less on middle, maybe middle and off stump, and as the ball's about to be released, I'll drag the left foot a little bit closer, not too much, so I can still have a stable position. You need to be strong with your stance, and from there my mindset is to push forward without lunging. I don't want to step yet, you want to see the ball first, but 60% on the back foot, 40 on the front. You see I even lift my heel a touch, my left heel, in order to make sure I don't commit too much on the front foot, but I'm looking to go forward. If I see it's full, the lunge will come in and the step forward. If it's not full, I will still have a small step forward because he's bounced it short, and then it's a great base to have to rock back for the pull shot or the cut shot. Let's summarize chapter 2 of From AB to 360 with stance and taking guard. The stance, nice and relaxed. Bent knees, shoulder width apart the feet, and remember to draw that vertical line with your toes, knees and your head. Very important, keep your eyes parallel to the ground. Do not let it fall over. For the left-handers, do not let it go to that side. At the point of delivery, most great players are in a very similar position. Eyes level, knees a little bit bent, solid, strong stance like a boxer. And then taking guard, leg stump, middle stump, off stump. I spoke about some of the greatest players that's ever played this game. They all are different. They all used to be different, but they had something in common. They were all in a very similar position at the point of delivery. Remember, on slower, lower wickets, show your stumps a bit more. That's what worked for me. I would bat closer to leg stump to make sure I don't get that front pad in the way for LBWs or getting bowled. And the vice versa is true on seaming and swinging wickets. I prefer to get a little bit more to the offside, but really focusing on keeping my eyes level and getting my head going towards the threat, which is the ball, right? Not the bowler, the ball. But always understand what the bowler is trying to do, what the captain is trying to do, and how he's trying to get you out. All that information can be gathered while you're out there in the middle, sometimes even before the game. If you have a great awareness, watching the television screen, if your games are televised, or listening to teammates who have been out there. That concludes chapter 2 of From AB to 360. It's time to head back in the studio and cover the comms box. Let's go. All right, we're back in the studio. Hope you enjoyed From AB to 360. Plenty more to come, so stay tuned. Let's move on to the comms box, guys. First up, IAB, your batting grip technique is truly remarkable. This is perfect balance of control and power. It's a masterclass for any aspiring cricketer. I'm glad to hear that. It's incredible to see how small adjustments in grip can lead to such exceptional stroke play. Legend. Thank you very much. I do agree with that. And remember, what worked for me might not necessarily work for you or for other players. Everyone's a little bit different. Everyone's got a different grip, a different belief system in why their game or what their strengths and their weaknesses are. So I always prefer someone to use personal preference and to do what's comfortable to you. But there are certain basics that you can work off, little fundamentals that you can tweak. And if you get the basics right, you generally have a good chance of performing out there if you work hard. Alrighty, Vlogger Ramit, I was waiting for this video. Thank you so much. It's a huge pleasure. Keep commenting down below, guys, as I will be doing more coaching videos in the future, and I need your guidance. Sir, how thick or thin was your bat handle, i.e. your number of grip, 1 or 2 or 4 like Sachin? I didn't even know Sachin batted with 4 grips. I very clearly remember Chris Gale batting with I think he's got about 5 grips on them. So I varied between 1 and 2 grips. Sometimes I would put some tape on the grip and then just 1 grip over it. At the end of my career, I preferred a thinner grip to have a bit more control and feel with my hands. I like to feel the handle so I know exactly where my blade is going. But for the majority of my career, I batted with 2 grips. Once again, personal preference here, guys, whatever feels comfortable to you. If I use my mind or my brain, I think a thinner grip gives you a bit more movement with your hands. But the problem with that is your hands can be very active, sometimes overactive, and you can really twist the grip a bit too much. I prefer that. I like to be able to feel what I'm doing with my hands. Where with a thicker grip, I think the hands are a lot more controlled. Like with Sachin, you always look very elegant, and the hands were very easy through the ball. Virat, I know, also prefers a thinner grip, guys. So very wristy, loves to open the blade, loves to close it. And that's how I would sort of explain it to you guys. A thinner grip for more feel, a bit more movement off the blade, and a thicker grip, more of just a stroke player, a guy who likes to glide the bat through the ball. And not really, I know Sachin did use his wrists. I'm not saying he never used his wrists, but he preferred not to have too much movement with his hands, opening and closing it. Just a nice, elegant way of changing the angle of your bat. That's the long and the short. There's no right and wrong with that. Were there any drills, tricks you did to make sure your grip wasn't limiting your shots? Also, do you have any tips for the bottom end to make sure that the bat is coming down straight with a full face? Drills and tricks, not really with regards to the grip. I would always just check the 2 V's of my hands to make sure, as I explained to you guys in that first chapter, that it runs down just the left of the middle of the bat. So almost the left part of the blade. I wanted my V's to run up there. That to me is a very basic balance grip. You can do anything with that. And then obviously, if you play the scoop shots, the grip will change. But there's no right and wrong with that, guys. Someone like a Faf du Plessis or Graham Smith, They have different grips. The bottom hand's a lot stronger. Foth even has a little gap between his two hands. Is he a bad player? No, he's a great player. Everyone is different at the end of the day. Some players will look at this and go like, nah, that doesn't work for me. That to me is what worked for me. It felt like I had a very balanced basic grip to play both off and leg side shots. No real drills with regards to that. We'll get to the drills later on when I speak about balance and weight transfer through the ball. That's coming, so I'm not going to give it away now. But yes, bottom hand, guys, really important for the bottom hand not to take over. I always believed in a really strong left hand. If my left hand or my top hand was in control and my arm, that's like my steering wheel, I could at any time at number 99 get that right hand involved to create power through the ball. But my steering wheel was the most important thing. You can't drive a car if you're not driving straight. You can't go fast if you're driving into trees or into walls. So the steering wheel is really important before you can add the pace and the power. Alrighty, no real drills there yet. I will talk about the bottom hand and the power drills later on. Shashank Mishra, sir, are you coming back to cricket or not? I am indeed, and I released a piece explaining a bit more about it. I realized that I got the international teams wrong. There are 6 teams in total, not 5. So apologies for that, just rectifying that. Yes, I will be coming back. It's serious, but it's casual. If you know what I mean, I'm going to try and find that balance between being competitive and trying to win games of cricket for the South African team that I will be joining. But we're going to be having a lot of fun in the WCL. That's the World Championship of Legends, and that'll be taking place in England in July, guys. So keep an eye out for that. I will also be updating you with regards to my progress in the net sessions. I've been gymming ever since I've retired, so that needs no top up. I am fit. I'm running around. I play a lot of paddle games, but I will be getting into the nets, and I will be hitting my first cricket ball since retirement. I'm looking forward to that. But I have at least hit some balls in the garden with my children, so the skill is still there, and hopefully I will be doing well for Team South Africa. I'm looking forward to the challenge, and I'm especially looking forward to catch up with some of my old friends from South Africa and also from abroad. Absolutely cannot wait. All right, but I did release this, so have a quick look at this video. Today I'm going to be making a big announcement, a very emotional announcement that I'm finished with all formats and all cricket all around.
And that's what he's doing. Fastest 50, fastest 100, fastest 150. He's been an incredible.
ये सच है कि ये एक urban legend है?
No, वो तो बिल्कुल जीनियस आदमी है.
Okay.
वो गोल्फ का बल्ला उठाए, क्रिकेट का बल्ला उठाए, हॉकी का बल्ला उठाए, रग्बी खेले. He is a genius athlete.
Can you believe what you've just seen? This is unreal batting. There's only one Mr. 360.
Get ready for the return of greatness, the return of Mr. 360.
Thanks for joining in this week's 360 show, guys. I hope you enjoyed that little video at the back end, the announcement of me playing again. Knowing myself, I'm going to be competitive, but I absolutely cannot wait, and we're going to have a lot of fun out there. Also, stay tuned for some videos of me in the nets with my children. I will be sharing that with all of you guys. So on that note, follow me in socials to stay up to date. Also, like the show, share it, subscribe to the channel, hit that bell notification. You know the story. I can't wait to see you all on 360 Live this coming weekend. Take care.